Good morning, everybody. This is DearMamaSal, and it's Tuesday morning. Owing to the fact that I had Monday off, it was a long weekend here in British Columbia. It was BC Day. So I had a really nice long weekend. I had Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday off, and I feel wonderful now. I'd love to tell you that I caught up on all sorts of things that I needed to do, and that would be such a lie. Never mind. The temperature here in southern British Columbia is 15 degrees, and that would translate through to about 59 American, as I call it. And it looks pretty overcast today. I mean, the sun is, you can feel the sun's there, but it's behind some cloud cover, so it'll be interesting to see if it breaks through. And the word of the day today will be excuses, and it could be the word of the week, quite honestly. Alright, so why? Well, because as some of you know already, I've been working on why I keep stuffing my face and abusing my body by so doing. And you know, I can give you the excuse that I gave up smoking and I compensated by eating, and it would be true. But really, the truth is that I am just not looking after my body. So I can come up with all the rationalizations in the world, but seriously, as I have said before, a rational lie is a rational lie. You know, a lie that makes sense, right? So I can say to you, hey everybody, you know, don't beat up on me too much because, you know, I gave up smoking. Well, the fact I gave up smoking is a manipulation. I don't intend it to be that, but it is. Because the moment people hear that, they go, good point, you know, it's better that she gave up smoking. You know how I always like good-looking cars? A very good-looking bus just passed me by with totally blackened windows. It's normally exciting. I have no idea who's in there. Probably don't want to know either. Anyway, so I wonder if you understand what I'm saying about the rational lies. Hang on, it's a diesel bus. It's going to be loud. It is loud. Goody, it's going to turn to the right. Anyway, so I hope you understand what I'm saying about the rational lies. It's not that I'm trying to manipulate you intentionally, but it is a manipulation if you think about it. I've put on the weight because I gave up smoking. No, I put on the weight because I stuffed my face. Eating too much sugar and really not eating the right things. Now, the chances are a lot of you understand what I'm talking about, because a lot of you have written to me about what I'm doing. And so I thought what I would do is this week start keeping track of some of the back talk that I get from my mind with this getting out and exercising, because that was the big thing as well, right? I need to get off my fat butt, which isn't what I wanted to say, and go move the muscles. I cannot tell you how painful that has been. I mean, first of all, I've got a groin injury for some reason. Not quite sure how I did that, but I've got it. And therefore it can be quite painful. If you've ever had one, you will know what I'm talking about. So I've caught a nerve or I have done something deep inside my inner left upper thigh. And I can assure you that when I put weight on it, it's not very comfortable at all. In fact, I'd say it's downright painful. Enough that it makes me sometimes go, ouch. You know, I mean, I got pretty good pain threshold, but it's, you know, it's nasty. So, and a good reason not to do any exercise, right? I'm injured. Oh yeah, that's not going to work. So, I look at all these things and I thought, boy, if I've got all these excuses going on in my head, the chances are there are a few more people out there that are doing the same thing, and maybe they would like to hear about my excuses to see if any of them tally up. And maybe if I can show them that I'm talking back to those excuses, that I will inspire somebody to talk back to theirs. Now, I say that because one of the things that I've noticed about doing Dear Mama Sal is you guys actually seem to appreciate the fact that I'm not a perfect person. And I, as you know, I always promise myself that if I'm going to vlog, I'm going to tell you guys the truth within reason. And I say the truth within reason. There are obviously certain things about my private life that will stay that way. And I'm sure you totally understand that and want me to do that, for those of you who are responsible. But for the rest of it, I wanted to stay honest about what was going on. So good or bad, I was going to let you know about it so that we could show that life actually is full of good and bad. It's not just good. Because one of the things that worried me about watching the vloggers was their lives seemed to be pretty damn perfect. And I really, life's not like that. And so I really appreciate any vlogger who actually puts up a little bit of reality now and then, even though it may upset the viewers and set the haters off full time. But it's not about that. It's about, come on, let's deal with reality here. Our lives are not perfect. We have good days and bad days, just like everybody else. Anyway, so I was trying to think of some of the excuses that went through my head when yesterday morning, beautiful morning, I thought I was remembering what one of the viewers had said to me, which is, you know, do it as soon as you wake up and it'll be easier. That's walking. And you know, I was already awake. I was already one coffee down and about to sort of just laze around a bit and not worry too much about anything. And I could hear this, you know, do it early and it's done for the day. And I really did hear that. Whoever that viewer was, thank you. So then what started to happen was, yeah, but you know, you really need to do this, and this beforehand. A deflection, all right? What I'm trying to do is not deal with what I don't want to hear, which is get off your butt and go and walk. And it was amazing how many things came into my head that I needed to urgently do before going for this walk. I needed to apparently put a light bulb in my closet that had burnt out. I have lights in my closet that I put in. And one of them had broken. But it had broken, you know, so that the socket bit was left in, but the glass bit was hanging. Oh, very nice. I love those sort of things. So really I had to do that. And I'm going, are you kidding? You don't need to do that right now. You need to go and walk. So it's done. So I go out, and the first 3 or 4 steps I took were excruciatingly painful because I was stretching that muscle, I guess, or stretching that nerve, I don't know, but literally painful. And so there was this voice in my head that said, you know, you need to just not do this today. And all I could do was put a vision in my head of Ashley, of Erin, of Chloe. You know, these viewers that I know are struggling with pain every day, but not talking about it, just getting on with whatever life they can, pacing themselves so that they can do what they can. And I thought, you know, you really do need to just stop this. You don't have to go fast. This is not a race. You just need to walk as best you can. Listen to that, as best you can. You know, for at least 10 minutes. That was the commitment. And it was amazing. The moment I said that and made that commitment again, the pain subsided. It didn't go away completely. I would be lying if I said that. But it certainly became very tolerable, which interested me. And then I did I can't remember how many minutes, 13 or 15 minutes, somewhere in there. So it was probably 14. I did by 14 minutes. I took a new route, funny enough, a route I've never taken near my house. There's a back alley, and I decided to take that and see how long that one took. So I did that, and I came home, and I started to watch myself for the whole day. One of the questions I asked on the broadcast yesterday, or it might have been Saturday. No, it might have been Sunday. I didn't do a broadcast yesterday. Who am I kidding? Yesterday was Monday. All right. Over the weekend sometime, I asked the viewers, how long did they think they could survive in a day without giving an excuse? In their head, you know, not to somebody else necessarily, but to themselves. And then I also later asked, how long do you think you could survive without lying? Because part of my reality is that these excuses are actually lies. And they're just procrastination lies. So if I have a rational lie that I can give myself, it basically gives me permission not to do what I don't want to do, like exercise. So I want us this week to really concentrate on some of the lies you're telling yourself. And for those of you who are into this sort of thing, pick your best lie of the day and let me know what it was. You know, some people might need new ones. And really, if you manage to hear the lie and then talk back to it and overcome it, that I'm really interested in. What did you say to reframe? Because that's what we were talking about last week. What did you do to reframe the excuse and do what it was you were meant to do? Now, I did something quite amusing to myself this weekend. I've heard from a lot of you that you actually listen to the videos, and some of you go to sleep to them. And I always get concerned about that. Am I that boring? But people tell me it's because my voice is so soothing. Yeah, right. And then some of you say you actually wake up and listen to my, when you're putting on your makeup or whatever. Whatever the time is that you do it, what I kept hearing was people listen. I hear some of you listen to me in the car. And I'm delighted. I don't really mind. But I wonder if anybody's actually watching the videos. Well, there's one way to find out, which is you put something in the video that is written and see if anybody reacts to it. Right? It needs to be something that is worth reacting to, if you get my drift. So what I did was I put something really funny into the video called, and the word for today is yes. I put something really quite funny. And what I did was I actually put it on one of the frames round about the middle. And I thought, well, if anybody reacts to this, I know they watched it instead of just listening to it. Well, it's been absolutely delightful because I've had about 4 different people now write to me and without knowing that I did it intentionally, write to me and say, you really have to give us a warning if you're going to put something up that funny in a video, because people splurt out their coffee or, or wake up the household laughing. But anyway, 4 different people have written to me about it, and I'm so glad I did it because each time they react, each person that's reacted to it, has made me laugh because I go, oh yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine how funny that would have been if you weren't expecting it. And so I'm glad I made you laugh because I love to do that. I've always said that one of the things I would love to be known for is wit and wisdom, because I think that learning is a fun thing to do. I'm doing it all the time, and I think the ability to laugh has really done me well over the years. Do you know what I mean? I really think the ability to laugh at myself particularly has really kept me going. And I like to think kept me younger than I perhaps should be. So it's not that it's important that people watch the videos as opposed to listen to them. It was just interesting to me. So I might drop a few more of those in because I must admit all I did was type what was going through my head at that moment as that guy passed me. And I think I've got this comedy writer that writes scripts for me in my head. And as the guy passed me, I could actually feel that. And so when I went to go and edit the video, I just happened to be scanning through it, and I saw that thing, and I thought it'd be really funny if I put down what I was thinking at that moment. And I did. And it was Splurt the Coffee Over the Computer stuff. So wonderful. Very happy. I had a smile this morning. I heard from Chloe, and Chloe was telling me that it was raining in England, and so it was going to be a day playing games in the house with her daughter. And that they were she thought maybe they would have a picnic in the lounge today. I know, I wish I had had Chloe as my mum. Because she seems to do such fun things with her daughter. I mean, incredibly fun things. I mean, a picnic in the lounge. How many of you did that with your children? I'm sure a lot of you have done things like that, but I just thought that was so cute. And does Chloe have all the excuses in the world not to do something like that? Yes. Ashley was telling me that she has got a baby pool that is sort of, I think, a little bit above waist deep, and that she gets out of her wheelchair and goes and sits in the baby pool when it's hot. Now that's a great idea, because it brings out the kid in you. And I must admit, Ashley, that when I was reading that, I had to sort of question myself, because I have seen very little of summer. Because I'm watching a guy with a 18-wheeler take a corner, and it was challenging. How he missed that car, I don't know. Just more by luck than judgment, I think. Anyway, I've seen very little of summer. You know, I seem to have been inside editing or replying to emails or doing stuff like that instead of enjoying summer. And I know that the one night I sat outside and answered emails and stuff, and it was delightful. And I do have power outside, and I do have a Wi-Fi connection outside. And there is absolutely no reason whatsoever that I could not do that. So when I get home tonight, I'm going to do a number of things. I'm going to cook myself a nice meal. That's a horrible delay here, and I'm already late. Anyway, I'm going to cook myself a nice meal. I'm going to sit out. I'm going to go and walk, obviously. Unless I walk during the day, in which case then I will save some time later. I'm going to cook a nice meal and then sit outside for a bit. I really enjoyed it. I had a guest over for dinner on Sunday, and we sat outside and chatted away, and that was delightful. Really enjoyed that. Of course, I really enjoyed the steak we had as well. Okay, everybody, so what's your excuses for the day, and be amused by them. I'm not asking you to beat up on yourself with them. That's not what I'm looking for here. It's like I want you to hear, oh, that was a good one. You know, that really, I nearly bought into that one. And just understand where all this comes from. And I assure you that if there were a way to count them, I think that would take up way too much time, but if there were a way to count them, I bet you'd be shocked how many times your mind gives you an excuse as to why you don't need to do something. And the question that I want to leave you with is if you didn't give any excuses today, how much would you get done? If you didn't let your mind stop you, you know, because what happens is you go, I really ought to do this, that, and the other, and then boom, the comeback comes. Yeah, but you know, you can do that later. It's it's not a lie, but it's an excuse not to actually do what you just told yourself you needed to do. So it's a rational lie. It's rationalizing why you're not going to do what you said you're going to do, or what you know you need to do. So be amused. And as we look at excuses this week, I want you to get lots of laughs from yourself. Because I bet you're pretty good at this. This is Dear Mama Sal, sending you all a big virtual hug. And hoping against all hope that you will have an incredibly fun day because you make it fun. Here's your hug, and I'll chat to you soon. Bye.